There we go. There we go. All right. I don't know why that keeps happening. Guys, so funny story. Funny story, just really quick before we get into everything that's happening. My stupid self decided to fix some settings on some of my streaming software last night into this morning, trying to work out new things, get new updates out, work on some new setups, all that stuff. Yada, yada, yada. Well, I get to doing my video this morning, and my OBS studios where I stream my stuff in and do my recordings in was like being wonky, not positioned well, like it was just weird on my computer screen. And I had turned off something yesterday, and I thought I was about to have a mental breakdown for 2 hours today on my computer being completely broken, and I thought my life was about to end. I turned off the thing that I turned on yesterday, and it fixed it, and we're good. And I guess when I reset everything, it turned all of my mic setting off, so that's why. But anyways, there was that. We got some severe weather cover here, just a little bit. We're going to do more of like a global talk here. This isn't going to be like whole live severe weather coverage. We've got some severe weather out here. We actually do have a little severe thunderstorm warning here just outside of Waco, Texas. This is going to be for up to 1.25-inch hail, and we will also have the 65, or not 65, 60 mile per hour winds as well here with this. Let me fix one more thing here. I don't know why this is popping up. There we go. I was like, why is this doing that? There we go. Yeah, as I was saying though, yeah, we're gonna watch this little severe thunderstorm warning here for 1-inch hail or 1.25-inch hail and 65 or 60 to 65 mile per hour winds. Hallsberg and Roselle, I guess is how you pronounce that, is in that here. We've also got Coolidge as well. This did have a little bit of a area of rotation on it a few minutes ago. It does look to be that has closed. We're starting to see that close up here, so that could be a good thing, but we are going to watch this storm and see if it decides to recycle or do anything crazy or decide to go attempt again. Outside of that, though, really not a lot of severe weather, and this is kind of how last night played out. It looked to be yesterday we had a lot of severe weather across, Texas and Oklahoma last night, a lot of hail in Oklahoma, just due to cool air aloft and at the surface. There's really not a very big supportive chance for tornadoes with these type of setups. There's a lot of rain out there. This just really don't produce these type of big setups. We do actually have a little skinny squall line back down here as well into Paducah, Texas here all the way down towards Sweetwater. So do be mindful, a little nice little line of thunderstorms coming through here. But once again, I don't think that today's severe weather is going to be anything crazy or ridiculous or anything like that. A marginal risk out here, so there is a chance for an isolated tornado or two across this risk zone through this evening here. As we go closer to 7 and 8 and 9 o'clock tonight, this severe weather threat's really going to ramp its way down. And the big story has really just been heavy rainfall. We actually had a flash flood emergency over here in just west of Kerrville, Texas again, over the last couple of hours here over near Junction and Sonora along the Texas Hill Country here. So, or not Sonora, Sonora, as I guess how you pronounce that. But we had a flash flood emergency there a little bit ago. That has officially expired, so we're seeing that rain officially push its way out now. So we should start to see Dallas. You're about to get, you're getting into the worst of it here. Lots of thunderstorms, lots of heavy rain here. We could see some gusty winds up there with this, and we are still watching along that leading edge up here where we could see an isolated tornado threat or two through the evening and overnight hours tonight. But once again, it's not going to be anything super crazy or anything like that. So once again, we'll keep you guys updated here. But we are going to do a global talk as well here in just a minute. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk to you guys about that's going to be happening as we go into next week. Lots of big weather changes coming. It's about to get cold, guys. It's about to get really cold for a lot of people across the United States, especially after Thanksgiving. Some of our models are going a little bit ballistic is the word I guess I'll use here. In terms of our tornado potential today, here is that 2% tornado risk. It's out. I will mention now that if you're back over here into southwestern Oklahoma, northern Texas, we are going to have to watch this little line of thunderstorms for a couple little spins. But other than that, if you're down here towards like San Antonio area, you guys are about done out of this. We are really just going to be watching for east of Dallas here through Tyler and up towards western Arkansas tonight to see if we get any isolated tornadoes or two. It's just a 2% chance, so very low wind chance, but you do want to be mindful of that. We've got a 5% wind threat and a 5% hail threat as well. So once again, level 1 risk out of 5 for severe weather, not anything super crazy or anything like that. Just going to be kind of a blah day. So once again, no severe weather expected tomorrow. Today is the only day of severe weather highlighted by the Storm Prediction Center, so we don't have to worry about anything, at least as of right now. I do think there's another shot of severe weather in these exact same areas as we head towards Sunday and Monday this weekend here, and we're going to talk about what that looks like here in just a moment. I do actually want to take a look at this little line of storms up here and see what it's doing. Yeah, I'm not seeing any embedded rotation with these, so that's good to see. If you guys are coming in to stream, welcome in from TikTok, welcome in on YouTube as well. Good to see everybody hopping in here. We're going to get back into doing these updates. I was sick to my stomach last night, guys. I was going to do a live stream last night, but that did did not happen, clearly. I just was not feeling the best, so I ended up having to go to lay down and get some sleep, and I finally felt a little bit better today, so that is one good thing. We are still watching this severe thunderstorm warning here near Hallsburg, Texas. This is just east of the Waco area here for what is up to 1.25-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. As I mentioned a few minutes ago as well, let me double check here and make sure I've got this turned on. Make sure I've got this fixed up here. Hold on just a moment, y'all. Yeah, so we're watching, like I said, for that severe weather threat here this evening. Like I said, we should get another day one update in about 2 hours. So I'll post that in the group later, in the bulletin board group. If you guys have not added yourself to that group, make sure you do that. It's underneath of my bio on TikTok, where I post all my weather updates in there. That way you guys can see those a little bit better if you're not able to like watch a forecast video or anything like that. New Braunfels, Texas. Yes, let's take a look here. Let's see where we've got for you guys. Let me get this pulled back up. Yeah, you got a strong thunderstorm or two to the west here of San Antonio. Right now, these are not severe, and they probably, honestly, will not be severe. We'll see what happens here, but just going to be pretty big heavy rain out of this thunderstorm coming through you guys here. So just be mindful of that. Once again, severe weather very, very low today. We haven't had any tornado warnings. We haven't even had any watches, and probably not going to see a lot of that today. Like I said, today's setup just really, really not that impressive. Still can't rule out anything, especially along our leading edge here as this line of thunderstorms kind of goes its way east, but we should start to see more of a lesser organized complex of storms and than an organized complex of storms. So also, Deborah, thank you for all the gifts. Steven and Nick, thank you guys for all the love. I appreciate it. Hope you as well. Good to see you. Thank you for all the gifts as well. I appreciate you guys. Here is our latest timeline guidance here of what we're going to see here this afternoon. And like I said, lots of rain all over the board here. And like I said, when you have a trough that's not organized, like we have our trough ejecting off the four corners right now into Texas and Oklahoma, this is just really creates a lot of disorganized air aloft. You can get some divergence for hail and wind and sometimes a brief tornado or two, but once again, just really not like a big time severe weather outbreak or anything like that. So that's good news. Some beneficial rainfall. Sadly, some people are going to see some flooding. So like I said, that's been ongoing here. But here's over the next couple of hours, this line of thunderstorms here will continue to work its way across eastern Texas through about 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. And then by the time we get closer to midnight tonight, we're going to have this working through northeast Texas. So Texarkana here, Lone Star, getting towards Mount Pleasant here, Longview, Texas. This is going to be between about 10 o'clock tonight and midnight. And then we've got storms moving through western Arkansas and northwest Arkansas here. I will mention up here along the boundary is where we're mostly going to see heavy rainfall. I'm not expecting any severe weather up here. Our severe weather tonight very low as we go towards midnight, but it'll be like right along that boundary as this line of storms continues east. And then after midnight tonight, we're pretty much going to be non-severe. I will mention, though, there is going to be one more batch of thunderstorms that is going to develop overnight tonight, so there could still be a marginal risk for all hazards of severe weather back down here again. San Antonio, New Braunfels, Austin, Killeen, we're going to have to watch as the official front comes through here. We could see another round of storms between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. in the morning coming through this area here. And, you know, these do look pretty decent in terms of hail and wind. So we'll see how this plays out as well here. But this definitely is going to be a possibility early tomorrow morning as you're sleeping. So a lot of people sleep on tomorrow is definitely not Sunday. I don't know why I thought it was Sunday. Tomorrow is Friday. So some people go to work, some people sleep. But right around 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, if this timing sticks, we may actually get a marginal risk introduced for this area tomorrow if these thunderstorms continue to work their way through this area, and that may be absolutely possible. So we'll see how that plays out tonight in terms of the severe weather. I'll be watching things behind the scenes. I'm not going to be doing a super long live stream here with you guys today because there's not really a lot to like cover live stream wise, but we're going to do a little bit of chatting here on what's going to happen next week. I do have a question for you guys. Who wants snow? Who wants cold air and who wants snow? Do I have any takers in the chat that want cold air and snow? Like, I'm just genuinely curious. That's the first question I have for you guys. Does anybody want cold air and snow? Okay. The good news is, well, the bad news is, if you're in Texas, you're probably not going to get it anytime soon. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. If you're in Texas, probably not going to see that. But, if you are in the Ohio Valley, the Midwest, basically in a nutshell, I'm just going to circle it here. If you're anywhere up here, the chances increase starting after Thanksgiving. It's very possible we start to see very cold air here, and the models all show it. I've been mentioning, if you guys have been watching my videos over the last couple of days, we've been talking about our troughing and our jet stream and when the cold air is going to come down and when we're going to see, you know, severe weather in potentially and all this stuff. It's still all over the board. We're still trying to figure out how this is going to play out. I want you guys to know, if you follow anybody else that does weather on social media or anything like that, be very, very careful what you're watching, because there are a lot of people, and there are actually meteorologists that I used to have a lot of respect for, especially growing up as a kid, that are doing this as well. And this is a big thing ongoing in the weather community right now. There are meteorologists that are degreed and non-degreed that are posting clickbait videos and pictures of 384-hour snowfall runs, and people are believing it. Please don't buy that stuff, guys. You cannot predict snowfall 7 to 10 days out in advance. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think you can do in terms of the weather. I can't do that. Nobody can do that. It's theoretically almost impossible. We can look at models all day long and wishcast and, wish that's the scenario. But I don't really talk about snowfall totals or, what's going to happen with a winter storm until we're in a 3 to 5 day range. It's just impossible to do something like that. So be very, very careful who you guys are watching. Make sure that that's a trustworthy source. Make sure if it's me or if it's your local meteorologist or whoever, make sure y'all are making sure that they're not posting model runs that are 300 hours out, because it's just nonsense. And sadly, there's people that are doing it, and it's there's some people out there that I used to watch. I'm not going to say names because I don't do that stuff on social media, but there are people that I used to watch that are starting to do it, and it's insane to me, and I don't know why it's happening. It just seems like it's a big uptrend here recently. So that's something you will not get from me. So if you want weather talk over 7 to 10 days out in terms of accuracy, we hint on it, but we don't say, hey, this is set in stone going to happen. We always let you guys know it's going to change. So taking a look tomorrow, just briefly here before we get into the winter weather conversation. We've got a general thunderstorm risk tomorrow. I could see an isolated severe weather threat tomorrow being issued from the Storm Prediction Center. If there were to be something tomorrow, it'll probably be in this area here. We'll see what happens with instability and all of that. We'll take a look at that again tonight into tomorrow in terms of the severe weather there. But other than that, a very low-end threat tomorrow if there's anything. And then taking a look at Saturday as well here. Not really going to be expecting any severe weather on Saturday. This is a general thunderstorm risk across the United States. So once again, not really seeing too much of an issue here with that. And then taking a look next week, we don't have anything highlighted yet in terms of day 4 through 8 here, but we could see some severe weather potentially on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday next week from the southern plains of the Tennessee Valley. So we are watching another storm system in terms of severe weather, and this could be a little bit of a problem on Monday and Tuesday here. If you are starting to travel for Thanksgiving next week, if you're down in Texas and Louisiana, we're going to have to watch again for more rounds of severe weather across the Gulf states. So along that I-10 corridor next week could actually be a more organized threat with what our models are both simulating, unlike this go around where we have just a lot of rain happening. So we'll have a little bit more of an impactful not tropical, damn it to hell. Not tropical. Hurricane season ends in 10 days, and we're not getting any tropical storms. My bad, guys. Anytime we're going to be watching this low pressure system that's going to be coming off of the Rockies again, or down towards the Four Corners into this weekend, and that's going to help bring another threat for severe weather. So something we're going to be watching here very, very closely. In terms of the future radar again here, I do want to just mention the more rainfall that we can get here, at least where's the higher rainfall rates going to happen at here over the next 12 hours or so. And once again, we could see an additional 1 to 3 inches of rainfall across the board here in southeast Texas between now and tomorrow morning, and then a couple more inches of rainfall up here, and then some more rainfall up here into Kansas and Missouri. But other than that, I think the significant flash flooding, at least the higher end potential, is starting to kind of wane just a little bit, especially as we go towards tonight and into tomorrow. So that's something good to make note of here in terms of that. So all right, guys, let's talk what in the world is going to happen here. So remember, we're looking at model runs. Things are going to change. Things can change inside 3 to 5 days. Things can change outside of that. So just keep that in mind here. Here is our 500 millibar jet stream. This gives us an idea of what is our jet stream doing. This controls our highs, our lows, our everything that happens in mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. And so currently right now we have our negatively tilted trough. The reason, once again, why this is not causing a severe weather outbreak this weekend is you have a mess. This is really not a very impressive looking trough ejection. Yes, it has a negative tilt. Sure, it's got moisture. We have a little bit of instability, but all of this divergence and diffluence that's going on aloft with this trough, it's just positioned incorrectly and just not causing a lot of potential for severe weather. So that's one good thing to note here with this system. But we're going to watch the second one. This is the one that I want to watch as we go towards Sunday and Monday. You can see how this one is a lot more compact. We don't have our winds all over the place here in terms of our colors and our wind barbs here. This is a lot more of a, compact trough. It's a shortwave trough here. But as we head towards Sunday and Monday here, we're going to see this thing eject. And it does look like it is going to have a little bit of a negative tilt here, and there is going to be enough wind shear here to cause potentially some severe weather here across Texas, southern Oklahoma, and maybe down here toward the Arklatex and the Gulf States as we head towards Sunday. So this will be Sunday evening, Sunday night here. We could see a low wind threat for severe weather, maybe a medium chance for severe weather. I wouldn't be shocked to see the Storm Prediction Center overnight tonight go with a level 2 slight risk if need be here. We will have instability and shear in place for severe weather again. So keep in mind, this is this coming Sunday, the 24th. So just remember that here. And then eventually as we head towards Monday, this trough is actually going to deepen, and it's actually going to kind of do a little bit of a loop-de-loop slash handoff here to our jet stream to the north. And this is our first portion of our Arctic air mass that's going to come down out of the northwest, and this is going to set the stage for our little type of fun that we're going to have for Thanksgiving here. Still watching this trough as it goes across into Monday here. If we have any severe weather on Monday, it's going to be down here in this region, maybe a little bit further to the north. We'll see what happens once again with position of this and, you know, where our moisture is at and where our instability is at. We'll start to take a look at that again starting tomorrow and into Saturday. And then we kick that system out by Tuesday, and here comes our big Arctic air mass. This is the one that we've been talking about the last couple of days here. This is what's going to cause a lot of problems, and sadly, it's on Turkey Day. So the good thing is, if you're over here in the west, it's going to be nice and dry and warm. If you're anywhere else above that, it's going to be probably very cold. It's going to be windy. Maybe even be some snow flurries flying. That's still yet to be determined, but it's not going to be fun for Thanksgiving if you're anywhere in this box here. So something we're watching very, very closely here. And you can see there may be even, like I said, some wintry precip, even some rain associated with this on Wednesday into Thursday of next week. And then after that, we continue to see northwesterly flow here. And this is going to allow for very, very cold air to stay in place. Anytime you see your wind barbs facing northwest to southeast, this allows for very, very cold air to stay in place here. And we really just keep this pattern going through the end of the month here. And then eventually, this is where things get even more interesting. What happens as we go into December? Well, the GFS model here kind of going a little bit bullish, but this is not something I want to see in terms of severe weather. This is what I call a big-time megatrough ejection. This is what caused tornado outbreaks, severe weather outbreaks. I'm not saying that's what we're going to get. This is literally looking into 10 days out right now. But this is not something you want to see starting in December if you're a snow lover. This would may bring some cold air on the backside of the trough once it comes in. But this signals to me we may have a big-time severe weather event potentially in the future if this does pan out here with our trough. The European model does show something completely different, so I'll show that here in just a minute so you guys can get an idea of both situations. But you see what's happening here. So we've got some things we've got to watch in terms of what's going to happen the first week of December, and really in reality, this is why I said I don't like to forecast winter weather or cold air more than 10 days out, because about 2 days ago, we were looking at a huge Arctic air mass coming down out of Canada. The GFS just pretty much evaporated that. It basically says, hey, we're going to go warm again back into December. So the odds of this happening, we'll see. The National Weather Service does have everybody in the central and eastern half of the United States in a below average temperature trend as we enter December. So I don't know if this run is an outlier or not. Let me actually look. Let's take a look here at our temperature anomalies here and see what we're getting out of this. Yeah, I don't know how much I buy this run. We'll see if this is a trend or not, because this keeps the first week of December very warm and then very cold over in the West Pacific, and then we warm back up again. I don't know how much I buy this scenario, low-key. We'll see if this trends, because I think the 12Z... Yeah, 12Z GFS was in a little bit of a different scenario. So models don't know what to do with this type of a situation this far out in advance still. And the European model, I believe, as well. Let's see what it did. Yeah, the European also went warmer. Interesting. Once again, this is why you cannot trust model runs 150 to 200 hours out. It's just impossible. This is why. This is why I don't forecast weather 7 to 10 days out in advance. I forecast weather 3 to 5 days where it's more accurate. This is the exact reason right here. It's just impossible, guys. It's literally impossible. One day we have cold trends, the next day we have warm trends. So this is interesting, and this would honestly lead to a little bit more higher chance of severe weather potentially. So we'll see how this plays out. We may get some snow on Thanksgiving across the Great Lakes. This is kind of where I see where we have our 32-degree temperature line for Thanksgiving coming up this next week here. We could see some accumulating snowfall up here along the Great Lakes for Thursday into Friday here. And then we've got, like I said, just a lot of cold air here, and it looks like it may be dry for Thanksgiving too, potentially. So that would also be a little bit of a different trend. Like I said, 2 days ago, we were looking at a potential snowstorm, and now we're not looking at anything. So interesting how things play out with the models. Very, very interesting. I want to see what the 18Z did again. Hold on. What did we get with this? Yeah, that would be interesting. Huh. Well, if you're in Midwest in the high plains, that would be interesting for snowfall. But once again, that's 366 hours out. Probably not going to happen. We'll see. Like I said, guys, I love forecasting weather, but let me tell you, I hate winter weather. I cannot stand it. And this is why. I cannot stand it. Like, you literally can look at a model run one day, or you look at ensembles one day, and they show this crazy scenario 10 days out. And then the next day it's gone. And then the next day it's back again. And then the next day it's gone. And then it's really, really gone. And then when you think it's gone for a couple of days, it's back again. So this is what's really, really frustrating. And this is why I hate winter weather. I love it when it happens in my backyard, but I hate forecasting it because I tell you guys one thing one day and the next day it changes. Sometimes I wish we could skip over winter weather. If there's anybody out there that likes snow, that's completely fine. But in terms of forecasting it, it sucks. It really absolutely sucks. So we're going to have to see how this plays out. It's like I get 1 or 2 days of trends and I'm like, oh, hey, we may have a forecast. We may be able to, start talking about something. Because you guys know, I don't like to get on here and talk about weather events that are over 7 days out unless I have trends. I want to see trends. I want to see consistency with models. I don't get on social media and post one screenshot of a model run and scare everybody and fearmonger like half of the weather community does. There's some good people out there that I'm good friends with that do a great job. And lots of Mets out there that do a great job, but half of the weather community just posts weather model runs and it just doesn't, there's no point in doing it. It's inaccurate. There's no point whatsoever in doing it. It's just stupid. So I don't do that. That's why I don't do that. So, did I go to WKU? No, I did not. I'm actually going to Mississippi State. I ended up changing colleges. That's where I'm at currently. So that's where I'm getting ready to go to currently. So I start back in school on January 7th, which will be super, super exciting. Y'all are going to have Mesomat as a degreed meteorologist in like 2 years. So that is some awesome stuff. Super, super excited there. Let's go back to radar here. We can see what we got going on here. But I just wanted to get on here and give you guys a little update. I'll be watching, like I said, for trends. If anything changes, we'll be posting videos. Make sure if you guys are not in my board chat, underneath of my bio on TikTok, it says Mesomat's board. You can click into that, and that's where I do forecast discussions every single day. It'll let you guys know when I go live. It'll let you guys also know when I post videos in there as well. So it's really, really cool if you like to stay engaged in a weather conversation. So, is this right now? Yes, this is right now currently correct. Yes. So, once again, Texas right now, definitely getting into it here. That's definitely for sure. Yes, I'm online school at Mississippi. Mississippi State has one of the best online meteorology programs, at least on the Southeast. I know OU has one as well, but that's where I'm going to, and it's really the only school meteorology-wise that you don't have to pay out-of-state tuition for. So I have 2 years left there, and I will be done with school, so. Other than that, we're just getting a lot of rain today, guys. There's not a lot out here today. So San Antonio, you're about to get some nice little storms, but we haven't had any tornado warnings. We haven't had anything super crazy. I actually wanted to look. I wanted to look at something. I know this model run is super, super far out, but just for shits and giggles, do we have instability and do we have dew points with that setup? Hold on just a minute. Wow. If this actually verifies, if probably won't, this would be a pretty decent severe weather setup to start December. It's a huge open warm sector too. Huge open warm sector. And you have a pretty decent dry line too with this. I would be wish casting this. This would be great for storm chasing. Wow. Okay. I saw we, Katie. I saw we. Listen, guys, you guys know I'm a severe weather nerd. You know I love it. Oh, that's a decent little signal. Yeah, that's definitely a decent little signal for severe weather there, especially on the 2nd and the 3rd of December. But once again, that is so far out, so this is probably subject to change. But we'll see what models do. Lots of, like I said, lots of things to look for. Got our latest reflectivity. Yeah, another little round of storms tonight through tomorrow morning down into Texas again as well. I'm gonna go back to this severe thunderstorm warning. little bit of rotation with this storm. Very weak rotation. I've got to get adjusted to the Radar Omega update because they made the words smaller for all the towns and the cities, and it's absolutely annoying, and there's nothing I can do about it. And I know people are like, why don't you switch to something else? I don't want you to use anything else. I'm not comfortable with anything else. So. Yeah, unfortunately, tornadoes can happen all year long, yes. What is an SPS? Wait, what, Sam? A special weather statement? Oh, probably a special weather statement is probably what it is. Is it a light blue box? Yeah, I really want to watch up here tonight to kind of see how the squall line holds. That'll be interesting to watch. Yeah, it's a special weather statement. It's for winds under 60 miles per hour or smaller size hail. You know, I really want to watch here too. Like Texarkana, New Boston, Maud, Queen City area. We'll see potentially for some stronger wind gusts down there tonight. It'll be between about 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock tonight that we could see that up there. So, you know, just kind of in that vicinity there. Wouldn't want to be in New Boston, Texas. Just saying. Just could be some crazy winds up there tonight. So, you never know. Let's see here. I want to watch and see this little storm up here near or south of Dallas. We'll see how this line intensifies. I'll stay on here for just a little bit longer, guys. We'll track some of these storms here for just a little bit. See what happens. Yeah, Fort Worth, you should be pretty much done. You got another round of rain coming in. This is just this is part of your front coming through with your trough behind this here. I don't expect too much severe weather anywhere else today. I just think it's really going to be pretty mute today. We'll see. Yeah, I covered the new Boston tornado emergency. I actually have a screenshot of it saved on my phone. I covered that when that happened 2 years ago. Let me see if I can find it, low-key. Katie, this is before I even knew you, which is kind of funny. I've got it in here somewhere. Hold on. Oh, no, it was the Tor E that happened on May 24th, 2024. That was it right there. I saved all of my screenshots. You know, you had one also. You had one also last year, May 24th. So, yep. I always save those just for future references. That way, if I ever need it for like a validation or an update later on. But yeah, there was one November 6th, 2022 as well. There definitely was. Yeah, and it's crazy too, guys. Most of our, like I said, our severe weather season runs all year long, but our peak tornado season is basically between like end of February through March, April, and May. So I have a feeling, this is just my thoughts. I'll talk more about it in the future, but I have a feeling we're going to have a pretty active Central Plains this year. I think the Ohio Valley and the Southeast will be a little bit quieter for severe weather this spring go around. I think with our troughing and our transitioning back to potentially an El Nino pattern as we head towards the late spring, could put our big time tornado threats in Oklahoma, in Kansas, in Nebraska. It's going to be a little bit different than what this year was, I think. It's just kind of my thoughts on it, though. So I know different people will have different perspectives and they use different data and, you know, have their different analysis, but mad respect for that. Anybody else I, you know, watch or look at or that post anything, you know, I'll kind of look at and see. But from what I've seen, it looks like, you know, it's going to be the Plains this year. Potentially, we could have some pretty big, significant severe weather events. So I'll be in school, but we'll still be covering every single Dad Gym event that happens. So. Any severe weather on Monday, possibly for down into Texas and Louisiana. We'll be watching down there, so goodbye sleep for you. I know, right? Listen, I love staying up late and covering severe weather events when they happen. I don't like covering a severe weather event on stream for 10 hours when it busts. It's a good thing, but it just like, bruh. you guys get it from a weather standpoint. Like if you don't like severe weather or tornadoes or anything, clearly most people don't. You don't want it to happen, but from like somebody that covers weather and does weather, you know, like I do, you're like, all right, if I'm going to do a 10 or 15-hour live stream and get ready to cover an event that's going to happen, I'm like, it needs to do something. I can't sit on stream for this long and it not do something, and then it ends up doing it. So it's kind of funny. So Hillsboro, you guys should mostly be okay. I don't see any issues for you guys. So, what's up, Bryce? Good to see you guys coming in. Good to see y'all. So, hello, Sarah. Hello, Carissa. We are going to be wrapping up stream here, guys, just a little bit. Just wanted to get on here, do some talk here. Like I said, we're going to watch trends on next week. I really think next week's just going to be really weird. We're either going to get some really, really cold air, or it's going to kind of stay cool and then warm back up again. I don't know what's going to happen going into December. I'm about as blown away as y'all are. The models don't know what they're doing as we head towards December. Like, it's just wild to me. Like, look at the 12Z. So this is the 12Z GFS run from today. This is our trough that we're looking at. So once this loads, you know, we get our little severe weather potential setup again on Sunday and a Monday again, Texas, Oklahoma area. And then the 12Z wants an Arctic blast of air coming down on Thanksgiving week. And then look at this. Oh, this is a trend. The 12Z does have this. Yeah, this is a no-no. We don't want to see this. These cause severe weather outbreaks. That's a no-no. This was the 12Z GFS. So this is our lunchtime run. And then the 18Z GFS said, wait, hold on. 18Z GFS that just updated said, there we are, but we're a little bit stronger on this go around. That's a massive storm. This would be a massive storm if this verified. Good news is this is 12 days out. Probably going to change. And the European doesn't really reflect it either. We're probably going to have, I'll give you guys this. We're probably going to have a major storm system between the 27th and the 5th of December. In that 8-day range. There's probably going to be something that happens. It's just where is it going to happen at and when is it going to happen? But yeah, we are in La La Land. Yes, absolutely. I will not, and I will say this every single day, I will not post a 300-hour out run of a model run on social media, and I just absolutely will not do it. There is no skill in forecasting that far out. Absolutely not. Nah, Katie, you'll survive. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. But yeah, this will be interesting. This will be interesting for trends. So this will be a little punch of severe weather down here into Texas and Oklahoma. So we'll see. We'll see if that picks up or not. But lots of things can change with that. Lots of things can change. I do think we'll stay active, though, in terms of severe weather or winter weather. So just lots of things to update on. If you guys stay tuned to the channel, we'll be going live pretty much every single day. We do live updates. I do live video posts as well. So I'm always talking about something. There's always something to talk about. So I think it'll be an interesting next couple of months here. December always does produce at least 1 or 2 outbreaks of something. I don't really think there's been a year, at least in the last 4 or 5 years, where I've not seen something significantly happen with severe weather in December. So once again, we'll kind of see how things play out. So, all right, y'all got any questions for me before we get ready to wrap stream up? I'll go back down here. No severe thunderstorm warnings, nothing. We're pretty much mute. There is a low-end tornado risk today. There is a 2% tornado risk for today. It's very, very low. A lot of people will look at this and say, oh my God, there's a 2%. Let's blow it out of proportion and call it a tornado outbreak. That's because there's people in the weather community that don't know what they're talking about. This is a 2% chance of a tornado happening within a 25-mile radius of every given location in this green box. Very, very small chance. We haven't had any tornado warnings today, and if we're going to get any more chances of tornadoes, it's going to be out in front of this line of thunderstorms here. Everybody else behind this line of thunderstorms, if you've already seen rain, if you've already seen thunderstorms today, you're pretty much done for the day. So yeah, San Antonio, New Braunfels, you're about to get a nasty little storm complex here. Ooh, let's watch this. I think that's weakening, but I want to watch that for just a minute. Yeah, I think our inflow's dying out there. It looked like it may have been trying to do something there for a second. All right. That's funny right there. Got a little noodle hanging out. Yeah, I don't see anything impressive elsewhere. So. All right, y'all. What about Spring Branch? Mostly just heavy rainfall for you guys. Very low in severe weather threat. Shouldn't see too much of anything. Yeah, I want to watch Sunday and Monday and see what SPC does with their severe threat. I don't think CSU did anything. Yeah, watching for some severe weather on Sunday and on Monday, at least on CSU here. They have a glimpse at it. Yeah, and then this goes through the 27th for severe weather as well. So CFS also has it. So this just kind of gives us an idea on where the concentration of that severe weather could potentially be at. So, but alrighty, my lovely peeps. I just wanted to get on here and give y'all a little update. We may come back tonight and do a gaming stream potentially. We may do an outbreak stream tonight. So if y'all want to come back and watch Mezzo Matt chase tornadoes, not in real life, we may get on here and do that late tonight. I do want to watch the Thursday night football game tonight. I'm not a fan of either team, but I do like to watch football, so I may watch that game tonight. And then after that's over with, we may get on tonight and do an outbreak stream around 10:30, 11 if I feel up to it. If not, we'll do it tomorrow. I don't have any plans for tomorrow, so if y'all have questions or anything, y'all can message me. That door is always open. I do look at my messages pretty often. So if y'all ever need anything, feel free to do that. I do appreciate all of my weather team as well for being in here and helping answer questions as always. Thank y'all for being in here. Thank y'all for all the taps, all the gifts, all the love, all the support. YouTube, thank y'all for the new subs and all of the love over there. We'll see you guys back in here again tomorrow. We'll do probably a noon update or something like that. Tomorrow's Friday, so I don't have anything planned. So, all right, y'all. Love y'all. Be safe. Bye.